Did I ever tell you all the story of how I killed an entire clan single-handedly with the broken hilt of a sword?
Too often, dog. More times than any man can count.
Here is a story I have not told a man, for it happened only last month. I was sharing a mead horn with a beautiful woman. When she,
her sisters, and her mother all begged for your hand in marriage. Is that how this tale ends?
Yes. Were you there? Here is a tale I do not often tell. There was a clan, little known in the south, composed entirely of warrior women. And
Why you did not stay with them when they asked you to be their king, dog, I will never understand.
Have I ever told you the story about...
I am fairly certain you have. Anyone else with a tale to share before Dag starts talking again?
We all remember when Eivor gave orders to attack Kjotve's clan in Avaldsnes. I knew even then our chance at victory was slim. It was a fool's errand. But Eivor demanded we strike, and I am not one to disobey my superior. Such is the mark of an honorable man. You all know what followed. We set upon Kjotve's men and were overwhelmed. You lot were captured and fit to be butchered, and Eivor here, carried off to be sold into slavery. A fate worse than a fine death. But there is one fact you do not know. In the initial fight, I came upon Kjotve, cowering in an empty house. He did not see me, and I came within 2 arms lengths of him. I could have slain him! A fast stroke of my axe, ending our troubles. But I held back. Why? Because I remembered my oath to Eivor. Yes. Years ago, Eivor had staked a claim on Kjotve's life. So I left the Backrout alone. Yes.
A pity, Dag. There's no one living who can verify this incredible tale.
Have you heard me tell the tale of the 6 Christian missionaries I lured away from their faith into the worship of Almighty Thor?
You showed them how to turn the crosses into hammers, simply by flipping them over. And they fainted with joy. That tale?
Yes. Yes, indeed. Some time ago, I met a wandering skald in search of a jarl or king to serve. He had not composed a verse in years, and was fearful of losing his skill. I said I knew many such great men, a few jarls, a handful of kings by name. But to my knowledge, all of them had many skalds of their own. This poor skald was disappointed, and thanked me for my time, asking my name as he departed. Dag Nithison, I told him. The skald's eyes went wide. Dag Nithison, he exclaimed. Of Thornburg? I nodded and said, the very man I am. The poor skald sung to the skies with joy. You are a legend among legends, he said. Let me compose a verse for you, if I may. Imagine my surprise at hearing such praise. But I agreed. So he began for 2 days composing a most lovely verse on my behalf. Yes, a most lovely verse. Unforgettable, yes. And I will recite it for you one day, when we have time. You might not be aware, but I am a man with considerable shipbuilding craft. In my youth, just 13 winters old, I designed an improvement to our dragon boats. One that gave them extra strength. It is so common now that none remember my genius design. But at the time, I was praised from the top to the bottom of Norway. I had been out sailing with my father when we hit a rough patch of ocean. Our boat trembled like a frozen skeleton. We nearly broke to pieces, but I was not afraid. I was transfixed by the ship itself, watching it bulge and heave. As men screamed around me, I devised improvements to keep the hull solid and shapely. When we returned to port, the men vomiting and weeping around me, I shared my ideas with my Jarl. He thanked me well. In time, all our ships used my new design, and soon all of Norway. So you may thank me, not the gods, for our smooth passage here. You may not know this, but Ragnar Lothbrok once asked me to lead his early assault on England myself. This would have been 8, maybe 10 years back. It's hard to say. The winters blow into one another like a great white fog. But I remember as if it were yesterday. Ragnar appeared at my home unannounced. Naturally, I welcomed him. He had traveled a great distance only to see me. So I poured him ale and fed him bread and listened as he talked. He was feeling anxious about his journey. Leading so many men into such a great war, it was a burden he could not handle. It was then, with tears wetting his lids, that he said, "Dag, teach me the art of war. Lead us to England and to victory." But I shook my head. "Ragnar," I told him, "I have 2 weddings I must attend soon. Were it not for these, surely I would help you." Ragnar bowed his head. "Thank you, Dag," he said. "Though you will not be on my ship, you will be present in spirit, and that is enough." Oh, you have likely never heard the story of the time Odin and Freya appeared before me on a dark winter's night. They
called you their orphan child, yes, Dag. We've heard the tale as often as the sun has risen and set.
Not long before leaving for England, I made a solitary trek into the mountains east of Fornburg. I was looking for elk or deer or other game to bring home, but my luck was poor, and I could find nothing worth my arrows. Coming up over a rise, I saw a rounded mountain ahead of me, with a strange narrow slit in the earth, running left to right. There appeared to be fresh water in this crevasse, which was strange, for it was on its side. As I approached, the ground rumbled and the crevasse shuddered. Then it opened, as wide as a lake and ringed with color. Stepping back to take in the view, I realized with a shock what I was seeing. The eye of Yormungander, the world serpent. Yes, he sleeps near old Fornburg, blessing us with his dreams. Oh, if we could return there now, I would show you the place. One day, maybe. One day I will show you the place.